This time around, I'm doing something a little less on the technical side and giving you more of a real-time brainstorming session. In particular, I want to talk about how Odyssey's world feeds into how I design its levels. While writing a side quest, I wanted to expand on the plot more by adding a dungeon. But how does one exactly go about it? Is it enough to just put a series of dark hallways down with some creatures that just hang out all day waiting to be killed? For me, absolutely not. So what did I do first? First, I looked at where in the game world the dungeon was supposed to be, how I could fit it into the world space naturally. For this dungeon, I decided that it would be a lost temple to the primordial god Ajudica. In Odyssey, gods are a big topic. The world was created only by 3, and these 3 gods walked among their worshippers. Therefore, prior to the death of the gods, there's not much of a question about what's mythological and what's real. However, as time went on afterwards, people began developing ideas of new gods. Are these gods real, or are they purely folklore given life by its believers? That remains to be seen. The people of Bastion, however, began to worship Ajudica. The next thing I do when creating gods or civilizations is to try and ascribe symbols to them. Symbols are powerful, and not only do they make a group recognizable in an instant, they can also give you a deeper information about what they value. In particular, before worshipping Ajudica, the people of Bastion worshipped Vrajita, who often took the form of a snake. Therefore, much of their symbology is centered around snakes or serpents. After thinking about it, I wasn't able to really think of an immediate symbol for Ajudica, but when I began sketching, a face formed. And all I could think of was a perfect moment for the player to discover evidence of Ajudica for the first time. Entering an especially dark, underground temple, and when they light the first torch, they see him staring back. The depiction of Ajudica's face rather than an emblem or crest stuck out to me all the more, as if Ajudica is simply beyond being represented by anything other than his own visage. I formed a great sense of foreboding with Ajudica, and I simply had to roll with it. By making this dungeon one of the most disturbing places in the game to visit, the entire place is extraordinarily dark, but not only that, there appears to be evidence that the temple has been inhabited far after the fall of Bastion. Disturbing messages in blood litter the wall, all the while bones pile up all around, all with no apparent exit once the way the player has come locks behind them. Ajudica not only serves as a creepy figure idolized by a declining civilization, he becomes an even greater piece of the puzzle for players as they ponder the existence of the Day Star, an object that haunts the world, visible in both day and night. Many perceive the star as the true portent of the end times, and that the death of their gods was only a preamble for worse things to come. Does Ajudica have a larger role to play in it, or was he simply a morbid creation of a people desperate for guidance in a dark age? Perhaps we'll discover the answers to these questions sometime in the future. Until then, you can play the Odyssey demo on Steam, and I'll see you next time.